สวัสดีครับอาจารย์ครับผม
Hello, welcome to another Dhamma meeting where we will discuss the Buddhist practices of charity, morality, and meditation. Everyone is welcome to join. If you have any question, you can come in and ask. But you might have to wait if there's a lot of people in line. Now we'll see who will be our first participant tonight. Tommy, okay, Tommy from Australia. สวัสดีครับ
สวัสดีครับอาจารย์
How are you? Good,
I'm okay. How are you?
good. Thank you. So what can I do for you tonight?
Um, I was wondering, Ajahn, I just started living alone.
Excuse me, your
Can you hear
voice,
me?
it come on and off, kind of blurry. Can you repeat the question again, please?
I just started living alone.
Yes, that's the way for meditator to do. Buddha.
But sometimes I have to come out and I have to see my family.
Oh yes, you can do that occasionally, but just don't make it a habit.
How how can I stop myself getting unbalanced?
Well, only see them when you really have to. If there's a need on a need to basis, not a want to basis.
Yeah,
If you have to see them, just go. If you don't have to see them, then you can call them. If you just want to say hello or let them know that you're still alive, just send a text or something.
yeah,
But the Buddha wants us to be in solitude most of the time, not congregate, not mingle. Because when you mingle with people, you have to use your thoughts. You have to think. You have to talk.
yeah,
And this can make the mind become agitated and restless. So if you can live alone and not have any contact with anybody, that's the best. That's the best thing for a meditator. Nothing wrong with that. You know, we're not here to socialize. We're here to stop our rebirth. So it's a different mission from other people. But if there is a need for you to contact them or help them, then you might have to go and help them, see them.
yeah,
Okay?
yeah. Can I ask another question?
Sure, go ahead as much as you want.
Um, I read in the biography of Akuba Ajahn, he talking about when he got proficient at Asubha, it's like he can really see it. Like if he on arms round, he can see the bones in the hands of the people giving dana. Or if he look in the corner of his kuti, even though it's clean, he'll see like a cobweb or a hair or something. Is this seeing with the eye or seeing with the mind?
I think it's seeing with the mind. The mind have been trained to remember all the parts of the body. So whenever you recollect, it can come up right away. So we want to practice it
And
to see the asupa of the body until it becomes embedded in our memory. So whenever we want to use it, we can call it right away, call it up right away. Such as when you have some sexual desire, then you have to call up the images of the unpleasant parts of the body. But if you haven't if you haven't embedded this into your memory, you might not be able to call it up. So you have to keep thinking about, Asupa until it becomes part of your consciousness. When you see anybody, you can see right through the skin, for instance. See the skeleton, see all the intestines and so forth. This takes practice. You have to keep looking at the body, at the 32 parts. But this has to come after you have established samadhi or jhana, because then you will be able to do it without any negative reaction to the super images. If you haven't yet haven't yet any jhana, your mind can become aversion. Will have aversion for these images, and you might not be able to contemplate for long. The defilement will try to pull you away and go think about some other thing instead. So it will not be able to stay in your memory if you don't think about it long enough. So you need samadhi first in order to be able to establish all these asupa images into your consciousness, to your memory. And even when you have jhana already, if you contemplate on asupa for a while, you might still have aversion. Then you have to stop and go back into jhana first to reestablish more equanimity before you can continue with your asupa contemplation again. So this is the matter of using wisdom contemplation and alternating with using jhana. You cannot abandon jhana practices, even if you are developing wisdom, because the mind after a while can get lost or lost the equanimity and can become defiled and can react negatively. Then you might have to stop contemplation temporarily and go back to samadhi, go back to meditation to calm your mind down first, and then come back and do it again later on. Okay.
yeah, I understand.
All right. Good luck to you. Hope you see the body totally in and out, not just on the skin alone, but also under the skin.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay, you're welcome. Next, Cecilia from Peru. Long time no see.
Yes, Brian. Hello. How are you doing?
Good.
Good. Happy to know. Yes, it has been quite some time I couldn't enter, or I didn't enter. But I have two questions now. I hope you can guide me with them. This year has been a little bit very, not a little bit, very unstable in terms of having lots of crisis after crisis after crisis, and I haven't even get out of one crisis. There was another one coming, no? So very, very unstable. And it has been particularly like brutal in the last months with lots of instability in regard to my mother's health. So my question is, I understand that Buddhism in the long run teaches that we are going to eradicate all sufferings, no? And I'm fine with that. In the long run, it makes a lot of sense. But in the short run, when you have these very big crisis after crisis and you feel like drowning and you just want to put your head out of the water, what does Buddhism has to offer, or what's the guidance of Buddhism, no? Because to say, yes, just meditate or just be mindful, yes, in general it's like that. But when you have lots of things happening and your mind is not so stable, how you work with that, or what's the Buddhist response to those moments, no? When you really need a quick fix, no? You just need to put your mind a little bit more clear to take it from there. Yeah, so
You have to
basically
strengthen your
that.
mindfulness. As soon as you feel agitated, restless, out of balance, then you have to recite the mantra Bhutto Bhutto. Stop thinking for a while and just stick to Bhutto. Or if you're doing something, concentrate on what you do and don't think about all these crises. Then the mind then can be free from the crisis outside and be calm and peaceful. Then after you have a peaceful and calm mind, then you can look at the crisis and see whether you can manage it or not. If it's beyond your ability to manage, then you just have to let go and let it be. Whatever happened, happened. If you can manage it, do it. If you cannot manage it, then you just have to, brace. Like if the plane gonna crash, there's nothing else you can do but brace.
Yeah, so I have two questions
Stay
there.
calm, and let go, and let it be. Whatever's gonna happen to you or to anybody else, you have to accept that life is anicca, impermanent, temporarily. Should you end up dead, then well, that's it. But it's only half of you that dies anyway. The real you doesn't die with the other half, which is your body. So you go on to the next play. The world is like a play. We're on the stage here playing our role. And when our role comes to an end, we leave the theater and then we go to a new theater to play a new play.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it. That is life.
That's easy to see when the mind is stable. I mean, I can totally get it.
That's
But
right.
when
So
it's
that's why I say you have to bring it back to stable by using a
stability.
mantra first.
But I do it, Ajahn. I say I use Buddha Dhamma Sangha. So I'm
Oh,
Buddha Dhamma Sangha, Buddha Dhamma Sangha, Buddha Dhamma Sangha. And
yeah.
yes, for a while it goes. And then again it starts all the
Then you have to do it again. You cannot let it be. It's like driving the car, and when you want to stop, you have to apply the brakes. Once the car stops, then you can let go of the brakes. But when the car start moving again, then you have to apply the brakes again. Yeah. You can change the mantra to anicca, dukkha, anatta. This might be helpful also. To
yes,
let you know
anicca.
everything is anatta, everything is anicca. Dukkha arises because you want to manage them and you cannot do it.
Yes. Anicca and dukkha anatta. I can try that. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good. I can try that. And the other one is somehow related, but not so well, more or less. So I understand that there are some things that have happened to us in this life in particular, maybe in other lives also, but in this life that shape our current choices and the way that we perceive things, no, in the world. So sometimes these things are very unconscious. So it's very difficult to let go, no, because you see that why I can't let go, and these things keeps coming and coming, no. So maybe there's a strong karma with these things. So there are modern therapies and psychologists and psychiatrists that say, okay, if you want to understand this better and manage this or whatever, I'm not very clear on that, but you have to analyze your past, no? You have to analyze your childhood traumas, what happened, and think, and many things like this. But Buddhism, as far as I understand, teaches to be in the present moment, no? be mindful of this moment, and whatever happened in the past is past, and you should just, as you say, let go.
And
So what's
whatever happens in the present is temporarily. It's the natural phenomena. Just let it be. Don't
let
try to
be
manage it. If you cannot manage it, then just leave it alone.
if you can't manage. But I
Yeah.
assume that these therapies are a lot about managing. I mean, trying to understand and try to get an answer to why this is coming and coming and coming.
We don't need to understand how they come about. We just want to know how to deal with them.
Now.
And now, and just be merely acknowledging and let them be, let them come and go, because they are anicca, dukkha, anatta.
Very difficult, Ajahn. I get it, I understand it. With small things, it's easy to see. I can
Yeah.
do, yes, but with very big things, I feel like there's something there. Why it keeps coming? It's just karma. It's
You
just karma
need
that things
you need
keep coming
stronger
and coming.
mindfulness. You need more equanimity. So you have to meditate more, practice more meditation and mindfulness.
And that's the only way, because sometimes
Yes,
you're busy. I mean,
this is the only
yeah.
path to the end of suffering. A Noble Eightfold Path composed of right mindfulness, right concentration, and right wisdom.
So no other way. I have to find the time to meditate more, because I've
Yeah,
been meditating less because there are many
your
things to do.
mind is weak with
Yes,
equanimity.
it has become so weak. I
Yeah.
can feel it.
So you have to make it stronger, more stable, less reactive, less emotional, be more
Yes.
rational. And you do this with meditation. Meditation will make your mind calm and peaceful and neutral. And it will be able to look at things rationally rather than emotionally.
Yes. And now that you mentioned emotionally, just my last question. Um, Sometimes I do metta in these times, in these last months, especially because I feel that I'm really having a bad time. And it was also a little bit of compassion for me and for my mother too. So I did metta, no? And I can see that actually, yes, I become less averse, less angry at the situation. But I go to the other side, no? I become very emotional. Oh, my mother, she's going through. So someday I won't be with her. So I go to the other side, no? Too emotional. And when I'm on retreat or after retreat, it's easy to control that and have some equanimity. But in everyday life, when there are other things, it's more difficult to do. So I should continue doing metta, even if it can drive the way to becoming a little bit more emotional, or I should see another way.
Well, you use metta when you deal with people. You want to give them love. You want to give them kindness when you deal with people. But when you're alone, you better practice mindfulness. Stop thinking about them. It's useless, pointless to think about them when you don't have to.
Well, actually, I have a lot of conversations with doctors and many things that have to do with the house. So sometimes I can see this, oh, I don't want to do this, and I'm probably not so kind with people. So I thought that would help a little bit also.
Yeah, you
But
have to be
again,
kind to. You have to be nice to everybody. Because when you have kindness, your mind can be happy. See,
yeah, I see that. I see that.
when you're angry, your mind is really upset. And it's sad. It's restless and agitated. But when you are kind, forgiving, kindness is mean you have to be forgiving. Metta means forgiving. You should not take any grudge, hold any grudge. You should not get angry at anybody.
Even at public servers, when they are doing things that are really bad, I have to forgive everything, everything.
What can you do? It's already happened. Getting
It
angry
already
doesn't
happened.
change anything, does it?
Yeah, it just
Only
makes
hurt
me
yourself.
feel bad.
It's only
Yes,
hurt yourself. But
yes,
you
that's
can
true.
talk to the person. If the person did something wrong, you can talk to them rationally and tell them this is wrong, that you shouldn't do it again. If you do, there will be consequence or something like that. You can do this, but you have to be rational. Don't be emotional, that's all.
Yeah, yeah. I will try to calm my mind before doing that.
Yeah, before you want to say anything about it, make sure your mind is calm without any anger. When you speak
Yeah.
when you speak with anger, it will
Yes,
always
yes,
go
yes.
wrong.
Yes, yes. There's no way to get anything good from that. Yes, that's
Yeah.
true. Okay, thank you very, very much.
People like to listen to nice words. They don't like to
Yeah,
listen to harsh words.
yeah, yeah, that's true.
So you have to first calm yourself first before you engage with it.
Okay, I'll put more effort, Ajahn. Thank you very
So
much.
try to practice mindfulness all the time.
Mindfulness all the
Yeah.
time.
Recite a mantra, even metta. You can
Thank you.
use metta as a form as a mantra. Just recite metta, metta, metta.
I
So
will try with all those, and
it
then I
will
will see
remind
which
you to
works
be
better.
yeah. It depends on the situation.
Ah.
Sometimes you have to use.
You can use different mantras depending on the situation.
That's right. If you have to deal with people and they say
Ah.
metta, metta, metta.
Okay. I thought it was one all the time.
No.
Mm,
But it's up to you. Some people can
yeah.
use one all the time, like Bhutto, and
Yes.
they can stay calm with that, then it's okay. But for some other people, they might have to use something different because maybe Bhutto might not be as attractive to Westerners than to Thais. Thai really trust and respect or venerate the Buddha. So by reciting his name can have a strong effect on the mind to calm the mind down. But for other people like you might want to try something else because you might not have the same
Effect.
effect with the Buddha's name.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, good.
There are
Gives something to work with.
10 types of mindfulness, objects of mindfulness in the 40 kammathanas. You can you can recite Bhutto, Dhammo, or Sangho. You can recite death or Michisanija. So
Have a check.
or you can recite the 32 parts.
Oh, that's very good. I'm doing that actually.
Yeah.
When things get a little
Yeah.
bit more stable, I want to go back to Asubha. It's so good for me. It just really
That's
stabilizes
right.
very, very good. But
Something
also, it's fine to stabilize also with the 5. I think that here it has been also spoken before. The 5 subjects for frequent recollection. I put a little bit more effort in the death part and in the separation from loved ones, and that stabilizes my, well, I do 1 hour, and most of the time it goes in the 5 recollections, but that time after that, it's so good, so stable, so still.
Yes, you just use the method that is effective to you. But sometimes if it's not effective, it means you might have to use something else. Like when you're angry, you might have to use metta, forgiveness.
Okay, good. I will try. I will start experimenting now.
Okay.
That was very good. Thank you so much, Ajahn.
Okay. Hope things get better for you.
Thank you much.
Next, outsourcing from Penang, Malaysia.
Good evening, Tan Ajahn. I'm just listening and paying respect to Tan Ajahn. Thank you.
Okay. Next, Alice. I heard you're back in France now.
Good evening, Tanajan. Yes, after a lot of issues finding my job and everything, I'm back for Christmas to my family, which is a good moment for them and for me as well. But I must say that I'm very confused about my experience in Thailand because it's been such a beautiful, transformative journey, and I'm wondering. Should I continue practicing? Should I continue learning Thai? I want to keep Dhamma with me to help me here because I will have to work in France now and have my life in France, far from my family's, of my boyfriend's family. So it's a different life for next year for me here in France. And I wanted to get some advice on how to make the best out of it without forgetting my spiritual journey that I did in Thailand.
Well, you should continue with your mindfulness practice regardless of where you are, because mindfulness will always be necessary for your mind, for your mental health. Mindfulness is like mental medicine that you have to keep taking all the time to calm your mind, to make your mind stable. So regardless of where you are, you will always need to develop mindfulness if you want to have a good mental health. So try to practice, but try to focus on your body action all the time. Keep watching your body. What is your body doing now? Just stay with that. Don't let your mind go think about other things. Do one thing at a time. Don't do multitasking. Okay, or you can use a mantra sometime. If Bhutto is not good for you, you can use anicca, impermanent, anicca, dukkha, anatta, to something to hold on to your mind, so for your mind to hold on to, so you can remain stable and calm. If you don't have something to hold on to, then you can be overwhelmed by your own emotion. Okay, this is doesn't matter where you are, in which country or wherever you are. You need mindfulness if you want to protect your mind from harm and danger. Mindfulness will keep your mind stable and calm, peaceful, and happy.
And I also really missed you. I wanted to see you to say thank you for everything that you taught me, and I'm very happy that we can have access via internet to your teachings, because they really impacted my life, and I wanted to bring them back to France.
Well, you can always come into this room or come into my Facebook page and read the Dhamma or watch
Yes.
the videos. Yeah. Nothing changed, everything is still here, just like when you were in Thailand, and you can access them wherever you are, any
Thank
part
you.
of the world.
Thank you very much, Ajaan.
Okay, so please, if you can, don't abandon the Dhamma teaching of the Buddha. It's the most essential for healthy mental health, for healthy mental health.
Thank you.
Okay, you have any other question?
Mm, that's all of my questions. I'm reassured. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
just come join us anytime you feel like to. Okay, good
Thank
luck
you.
to you.
Thank you.
Next, Full Moon from China. Full Moon.
Good evening, Ajahn. Yes, I have two questions I want to ask you. The first question is that I want to ask if a layer person can stop speculation.
Stop what?
Speculation.
Speculation.
Yes,
Speculation.
if a layer person can do the speculation.
Well, we do it all the time. We speculate about what's going to happen tomorrow, and what's going to happen, where we're going to be. But it's better not to speculate. It's better to look at the reality, look at the truth, look at the present, where we are now, and don't worry about the future too much.
Oh. 就是 speculation on stocks.
On what? On thoughts?
Stock market.
Our stock market. I see.
Yes,
Well,
yes.
this is like a business. If you do business, then you have to speculate. If you make a living by buying stock, then you have to speculate. But you want to use an educational speculation. You have to need some information for you to speculate correctly.
Yes, I want to ask if a liar person can do this. If
Yes, and the person will be the one. The person will be, you will be the one to pay the consequence of your speculation. If you speculate wrong, then you can lose. If you speculate right, then you can win. So it's up to you whether you want to take this chance or not, of winning or losing. Because it's like gambling. You place your bet on a horse, and you expect it to win, but it might not win. Then you might have to lose a lot of money for that. If you don't want to
Yeah,
speculate, just put the money in the bank.
I have not much money and I want to earn more money.
Don't. In Buddhism, it's not good to have greed. So don't speculate out of greed. If you have to, don't be greedy. Just be happy with what you have and try to protect what you have, and not worry about getting more. If you want to get more, just work hard.
Okay, because I want to save more money and then I can quit the job and I can go abroad to meditation.
But it might not work out that way. See, that's the problem with speculation. You speculate one way and it turned out to be the other way. Then what's going to happen to you? So don't speculate. Try to use something more firm, more reliable, like working on your salary, depending on your salary, and try to save up your money. It might take a longer time, but at least it's more reliable than trying to speculate. You might lose all the money if you speculate wrong.
Okay. Yeah, right, maybe. The second question is that sometimes in our work, we need to drink some alcohol because sometimes we cannot reject others. It's hard. So how can we do?
It's easy. Just tell them you have to keep the precept. That's all. You follow the Buddha's teaching. People will respect you if you say I keep the 5 precepts. I don't kill. I don't steal. I don't cheat. I don't lie. I don't commit adultery, and I don't drink alcohol. You have to choose one way, one or the other. If you want to follow the Buddha's teaching, then you have to 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 uh, to follow his teaching and not break the precepts. The Buddha says it's better to lose the work and then lose yourself, because when you don't keep the precept, you lose your morality. You will lose your humanity. You'll become animals. If you don't keep the precept, you'll be degrading your mind to the level of animal. If you can keep the precept, then you can maintain the level of human. So your future birth, you can come back and born as a human. But if you degrade your mind to the level of animal by breaking the precept, when you die, then your next birth will be you are reborn as an animal instead. So what do you want?
I want to be a bhikkhu.
Yeah, okay. So keep the precept, because with the bhikkhu you have to keep more than the 5 precepts. You have to keep 227 precepts.
Okay, but sometimes in China they cannot understand.
You don't have to want them to understand. As long as you understand yourself, that's enough. You know that you have to keep the precept. That's all you need to know. If other people don't understand this, it's too bad. You're not here to convince them. You're here to convince yourself that you have to keep the 5 precepts. If you want your mind to remain human, and your future birth will always be human or higher rather than lower.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. Although it's a little hard because
Okay.
not every time I can reject, but I try to make me strong.
It's up to your determination. The stronger determination you have, you'll be able to do it easier. So you have to be more determined, more resolute.
Yes, because the last time I reject someone and I say loudly and yes,
You can
has
ask
a bad.
them. You can ask them what's wrong with drinking water, plain water. If other people want to drink alcohol, let them drink alcohol. But you just want to drink plain water or orange juice or something. What's wrong with that? Yeah. We all have a choice. Like when you go to a restaurant, you order noodles or you order rice. So why is this okay? But when you want to order no alcoholic drink, what's wrong with that? Right? Think about it.
Yes,
I
yes.
think it's more your mind wants to drink more than anything else. And it's trying to
No,
find
I don't want to drink. No, I don't want to drink. When I become a lay person, I don't drink anymore. And before I become a lay person, I drink little too.
Okay, don't
Just
drink.
because
Don't drink. Then what's wrong with that? What's so hard about it then? Just tell people no. Can you say no?
yes, I can say no.
Okay, I'll take orange juice or something instead.
Okay.
Okay.
I will try it. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Next, Professor Ken from Switzerland.
Good afternoon, Ajaan.
How are you?
I thank you. We have 2 weeks of holiday this time for Christmas and New Year.
Mhm. I think
So
most people do have this time of the year off.
yeah, so it's a quiet time for practicing more.
Good. So you stay home and do it, or go up to the monastery?
Just staying at home. They have a very limited capacity at the moment because of renovations.
Mhm.
It's probably quieter at home as well, so it's a good place.
Okay, good.
No questions today, Ajaan. Just like to wish you a happy Christmas.
Okay, thank you. Next, Rohini from the UK.
Good evening, Ajahn.
Yes, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. It's a Christmas holiday week, so I spend more time on practicing. Um, no questions, Ajahn. I just want to pay my respect to you.
Does the holiday season affect you in any way, affecting your
Yeah,
practice at all?
I spend more on practicing because I don't do tuition anymore. I mean, this week. So I can spend more time on meditation.
Good. It doesn't affect you in the sense of you wanting to do some celebration or do some
Oh
gifts.
no, I don't do those things. Ajah's teaching helped me a lot in many ways. I am not into those things anymore.
Okay.
I even turn off my phone because I don't want people to message me. So
Yes, that's a good way. If you
yeah,
want to
so because
meditate.
yeah, when people keep messaging me this and that and interact with them, so that disturb my meditation, and it's valuable time for me. And yeah, so
Yeah, use your phone for only outgoing calls.
yes, yeah, in an emergency I just keep it
Yeah.
it's turned off at the moment.
Then no one can bother you.
Yeah. And Ajaan's teaching helped me many ways, to overcome worries and improve on my practice.
Do you meditate many times a day during the day?
Yes, I do. The sitting meaning cross-leg sitting on the floor about on average about 5 hours, but
Good.
on
Yeah,
and
do as
on a,
much as possible. Do as much as
yeah,
possible.
and the rest I alternate between sitting on the floor as well as on a chair like this. And when I do sitting meditation, I do breath meditation, and the sitting on a chair, I chant either Satipatthana or Sutta or the Buddha, or sometimes. Is it okay to alternate, or I should stick to one?
Yes, you can alternate. Sometimes you might feel uncomfortable with just one, then you can switch.
Yeah, but when I'm sitting, I don't want to switch. I just stick to breath meditation.
That's the best method if you're sitting.
Yeah.
But if you're
And I
moving
just,
around, if you're doing things, you can use mantra or chanting or watching what you do.
yeah.
But you
You
always
know,
maintain mindfulness all the time in different
my,
forms. Mantra
yeah,
is a form of mindfulness. Chanting is a form of mindfulness. Watching
yeah,
your body activity is another form of mindfulness.
yeah. The mind can take only one thought at a time, but even if I'm aware of each incoming and outgoing breath, but some unwanted thoughts arise in the mind.
Because there's still a gap because the thought can come within seconds. Yeah. As soon as there's a gap, the thought can come up right away. It means our mindfulness is not yet continuous.
Okay.
So let it be, let it happen. Don't worry about the thought that keep creeping up. Just concentrate on your meditation object, because you're not having continuous full mindfulness yet. So don't worry about it. Let them come and go. As long as you don't pay attention to them or entertain them, don't talk to them. Don't reply to what they say.
Okay. Okay. And why is it very important not to control the breath? But I just feel like,
Because you're putting the mind into action. See, when you meditate, you want to make it inactive. You want to make it still. So when you control the breath, it's the mind that has to do the controlling. But by watching, the mind doesn't have to do anything, because this is the intrinsic nature of the mind. It's just to watch or just to know.
okay, Ajahn. Thank
But
you.
when you have to make the body into action, then the mind have to do the acting to force the body to breathe in long or short, for instance, to scratch here and there. This is the working of the mind. So if you meditate, you don't want to make the mind do any work, because if the mind is still doing work, then it will not be able to become still, enter into jhana.
Oh, I think I'm doing that mistake.
You should leave the body alone when you meditate. When you use the breath, just keep watching. That's all, at the tip of your nose.
Yeah.
Not have to force the breath to be long or short, subtle or coarse. Let it just be.
Okay, Ajahn.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
But if you can do this all day long, mindfulness, alternating with meditation, I think
I do alternate. I mean, like yesterday, apart from a few hours of sleep, I alternate between sitting. I don't do much walking meditation because
There's no place to walk.
cold outside and
Yeah.
inside is not much room here. So
Unless you feel you want to do some movement, then you might just walk around the room.
I just go up and down the stairs
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah. Because you also have to maintain good health for your body, so the body needs some exercise.
I eat only once a day. I don't eat afternoon.
Good.
Yeah,
One
and
meal
also
is good enough for the body.
yeah. So I skip sometime. I skip a day, so about 48 hours. So
That's good
also
because
help a lot.
it makes your mind more alert when you're hungry, when you're not eating.
Yeah.
You don't have drowsiness to bother you with.
Actually, it doesn't really matter. Even I fasted about 48 hours. I don't feel
Hungry at all.
weak. Yeah, no, I don't.
Because the most of the hunger comes from your mind. The body sometimes can go without food for days without, having any problem. But it's the mind that constantly hunger for food that makes people eat all the time.
Craving, I think. Yeah, craving. Okay, thank you.
But when you have mindfulness and calm, then this craving don't come up, see. So that's why you don't feel hungry. Good.
Yeah.
If you can maintain this fasting or reducing the taking in of food, it will greatly help you with your meditation. You can reduce a lot of hindrance from bothering your
Fasting.
mind, yeah, like sleepiness or laziness.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Keep up.
Thank you, Ajahn. Thank
You're
you. Thank you
welcome.
very much.
Next call from California.
Hi, Ajaan. No questions today, just listening and hoping you are well.
Okay, thank you. Next, Marco from Holland.
Hi, Ajaan. How are you?
Good, thank you.
I would like to report my homework, if I may, and I have a couple of questions.
Please go ahead.
Homework is going well. Meditation walking is going well. My meditation, I seem to be progressing. I do realize sometimes that I'm getting too tired, but then when I realize, then I just stop and I don't try to force it. Then I just rest or I go into walking meditation, which is working well. Now that my wife has been home, there was one moment that we were sitting at the dinner table with my son and my wife, and I just got emotional because I suddenly realized that my attachment to them is very strong and that this moment, like I'm enjoying it now, it's going to go away anyway. And it's a very harsh reminder that sooner or later I'm going to have to let go of everything. I do have a question. I realized now that since my practice has been getting pretty serious, that sometimes I'm remembering, having recollections, real memories, sanya from past actions that I've done, even from when I was a kid. What kind of advice could you give me to kind of stop those? Because I have the feeling that the memories are very difficult to stop. The sankharas are more easy to stop because they try to build it up, and if you don't give them energy, then they stop. But
You just
memories.
recite a mantra whenever you think of the past or think about something you don't want
Just
to
go to
think about.
Bhutto.
Yeah, Bhutto, Bhutto, or Anicca, Dukkha, Anatta, or the 32 parts of the body.
To stop the memory
Yeah,
that came up.
right.
Okay.
But you cannot stop them all the time, but you don't have to do this all the time. When the memory stop, then you stop your mantra. When they come up again, then you do it again. And eventually they will stop because you're not entertaining them, see.
Yeah, so it's the kilesas that are trying to see how much you remember then, because that's what I feel is happening. It's like you're remembering, and you're kind of surprised that you're remembering something so vividly from so long ago.
Yeah, the defilement wants something to consume. So either they consume the past or the future or the present. The present, you have to go out and see things or hear things. But we cannot go out, then try to consume the past or the future.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
use mindfulness to bring it back to the present, just to keep the mind still.
So this is then a result of the kilesa really trying to get fed all the time, and that's why now it's
Yeah.
trying to do it via memories.
It's a result of not having mindfulness at that time.
Good point. Exactly. And speaking of mindfulness, there's another one that I would like to ask some advice or at least some tips. So now that it's the Christmas period, I try to stay away from people as much as possible because in all fairness, I don't like this period much. I think it's a lot of fake trying to be nice, whereas the rest of the year nobody's nice to each other. That's the feeling I get. So when there's things happening at work, I try to not go to be in places that are about socializing, but my family does celebrate Christmas, and I'm going there, and I've thought about not going, but at the same time, I don't want to hurt their feelings too much. So what's the best way? By already having made the decision that I'm going to go visit them and knowing that I won't like it necessarily, to at least deal with it in a positive way.
Well, you can look at it as, even though it's fake, it's better than than fighting against each other. At least one day you try to fake love with each other, then that's okay, that's better.
That's true. That's an interesting take on it as well.
Yeah, than be real and fight with each other. At least they decide to start the fighting one day, just,
That's true.
just
But
to be nice.
there's more benefit to it.
It's like there's a story, I think during World War II, right? The enemies, two opposing side decide to have a truce, just one day truce on Christmas Day or something.
Yeah. And then the day after they shoot each other again. It's
Yeah.
priceless if you think about it. But it's still better. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Thank you, Ajaan. And other than that, I've been in my meditation being able to really get back to the breathing, and I'm realizing that I'm getting whenever piti comes up, then I try to just go back to the breathing. It seems to be working. I feel more calm. When I'm doing my walking meditation, I'm also now feeling the body more, being busy and not thinking about it, but just observing it. Is that the right approach to really just feel the body? Because it's really true that you start feeling the discomfort of the body because you're moving constantly because the body never feels good.
I think you should observe the step that you walk with.
Yeah.
Make sure that you're walking and which step you're taking, left or right, for instance, and then ignore everything else. You want to be focused only on one thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and by doing that, and that's what's happening. So when I feel the steps, especially because I walk several hours, then I feel that you feel the pain, or at least you feel the body in discomfort, but you notice the step, but then the focus doesn't stay there, or you don't think about it, but you just take the next step, and then again you observe that feeling, and then take the next step and observe that feeling, and I feel that I'm getting a lot of calmness out of this. That's the proper approach, right? That's the right track to have the mindfulness.
I think just ignore the feelings and just concentrate on the steps only. Better.
No thinking about the feeling.
That's right. Just
Okay.
observing the steps. Excuse me.
And then once I'm done with the walking meditation, I go into contemplation mode. That's when you observe the body and then observe how the feeling of pain then happens to the body, that the body is just the elements. It's just not in a happy state, that it always wants to move, that it just is never happy, basically. That's the right approach.
Yes, if you contemplate the changing nature of the body, of that feeling that arising from the body. Feeling can change from good to bad, from pleasant to unpleasant, and it's something you cannot control.
Yeah.
So it's something that you have to learn to accept them when they come up, whether pleasant or unpleasant.
Yeah, and that's one of the things as well that we were having a talk yesterday about. In the past, I could really think about, oh, I really want to have a new car, things like that. And I'm noticing that it's all the same feeling, and it doesn't have any substance to it anymore. It's getting less and less. And I think that's the natural result of the practice I'm trying to follow. But it's also interesting that I still feel that I'm getting conceited because of that. I feel conceit towards other people when I see them worrying about getting things, getting material things. And I know that we discussed that earlier about having metta for that, to take that away, right? But how do I really force that metta on myself? Because I have a feeling it's a very deep feeling that I feel I feel wrongly better, that I don't like the material things anymore that much. And I don't want to feel better because I'm not better. I'm not any better. I'm the same. It's not different.
Well, I think you should use equanimity in regarding to other people, whatever they do or say is their karma. See, that's what makes them do what they do, and there's nothing you can do to change them.
And is that also the kilesa that are trying to get that feeling so that they feed off that? Is that what's happening? The emotions?
Yes, emotions are usually created by the kilesas, either by conceit. You might think I'm better than them, for instance. But you shouldn't have that attitude. You just look at them and respect their action. If that's what they want to do, that's their business, not your business to judge. Your
True.
business is just to observe. It's just to acknowledge. That's all.
True. Yeah, I think that's a good one. I used to judge myself very harshly, and I think that that's one of the problems as well. And then kind of that trickles out into, okay, I stopped doing that, right? I stopped being too harsh on myself in the sense of like, well, what's happened. I feel bad about it, but I'm moving on, and now I'm in the moment, and I'm not breaking any precepts. I'm living in the now. I'm not gonna hold on to anything else. And then when you get in situations where there's other people around, you actually automatically it's like there's this thing that tries to think, okay, so you can start judging that instead of yourself. I don't want to judge other people either. I just want to get it cleared out, closed up.
It's good to judge yourself, but you have to judge it with reality, not say if
Not
you're
the
still
past.
if you're still greedy, then say, oh, this is bad for you. You have to lessen your greed, for instance. You still get angry, oh, this is bad for you, then you should. This is good. You have to self-analyze yourself, but don't analyze other people.
No.
Leave people alone, leave other people alone. Because there are so many people, if you try to analyze them all, you won't have time to do anything else.
That's true. It's job protection for the kilesas, I think. No.
But the kilesa likes to analyze other people, but not itself.
Exactly. They don't want you to see them. That's very obvious now. Thank you, Tanajan.
Okay, anything else?
No, Tanajan, thank you as always.
All right, good. Next step from Oregon.
Hi, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
I'm good. I think I have been indulging in feeling. I feel really emotional and everything makes me cry. And I think that's probably not good. I should be more mindful.
Yes, practice more mindfulness to be more rational, right? Rather than emotional.
This season, my inner child is just like
come up.
Christmas, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's all.
Okay, good. Practice
To be
more
more
mindfulness, more meditation, get more equanimity.
Yeah, my equanimity is like, it's just, okay. All right.
Okay.
Happy to be here. Merry Christmas.
Happy holiday. Next, B from Bangkok, B Ravin.
Hi, good evening, Prajaan, and Merry Christmas in advance.
You should say Buddha Mass. We are Buddhists.
I know. I had so many Christmas wishes today at work, so it's still in my mind. But yes, you're right. Prajaan, I I try to observe my mindfulness over the past few weeks, and the one thing I observe is regarding food and eating. I realized that more than half of the time I eat because of the mind wanting to eat, and around 30% of the time is that I really need to eat. So I realized the importance of not overeating, and it has helped with my meditation as well when I don't eat. I observe sometimes when I meditate in the evenings and I don't eat dinner, my mindfulness is stronger than if I meditate on the weekend straight after a meal. So that's my observation.
That's right. Meditation after the meal is bad because you become drowsy. You become lazy. You don't want to do it. So if you want to meditate, you meditate before the meal. You take the medicine at the
right.
wrong time. This
Right.
medicine has to be taken before meal, not after meal.
Before, huh?
Yeah. So if you want to meditate before meal, if you can arrange the time.
Yeah, because sometimes on weekdays I meditate in the night and I haven't eaten for 4 or 5 hours. I find it quite good for me. But if
That's
it's
right.
weekends, I sometimes I eat first and then I meditate, and I find, oh no, it doesn't really work as well. So I think you just answered my question. Before, not after.
Yeah, no, that's right. This medicine has to be taken before meal, not after meal.
And Prajan, you mentioned earlier that sometimes you can go for days without eating, and it doesn't harm the body. I mean, fasting.
Yes, there's a certain amount of time you can fast, but after that, when the body starts to acting wrong, then you have to take some food. Yeah. So usually 3 or 5 days fasting is safe. It doesn't affect the body. But if you fast more than 5, like 7 or 10 days, this can have more negative effect on your body. It depends on the frequency of fasting also. If you fast for 10 days, then you come back and eat for 1 or 2 days, then you go back fasting again. It might not be enough food for the body. So you have to look at the body, and you'll find out when the body start to acting something and irregular with the body, then you know that maybe you're over fasting.
So one day is
Ajaan Mahabua said he used to fast so much that when he stopped fasting and eating, the food, the stomach would digest the food. He said the food that he eat will come out just like undigested. So he knows he has to do more eating than fasting. So you have to watch, but usually 3 or 5 days at a time, and then come back and eat for 2 or 3 days and go back. This is no problem. Oh, like Rohini, she said she skipped one day a meal, one day, and eat every 48 hours. This is safe. It's safe fasting. I used to do that before a lot, just eating day and alternating with not eating the other day.
Oh, I see. Maybe it's something I may consider, because I find that not eating strengthens my mindfulness. I've observed this
Yes.
more than once already.
But you have to do this when you are in seclusion. If you have to be near people and near people eating, this will be very difficult to do. Or near food, if you walk through the market or see restaurants and things like this will be difficult to fast. But if you're in the forest alone by yourself, then no distraction, nothing to tempt your mind to go eat. So you have to look at the situation also. Just be moderate. Try to. If you have to eat, maybe eat half the amount that you used to eat. For instance, if you used to order 2 or 3 plates, just order 1 plate. Let's say I eat to live, not live to eat.
Yes, it's a very famous Thai phrase for
Yeah.
that. So it
Okay.
is a kilesa, right? Eating is a kilesa.
Yes. It's your mind thinking about food that makes it hungry. Not the body that is hungry. It's the mind that's hungry. Ajahn Mahabur, when he first ordained, when he was a newly ordained monk, he said, as soon after he finished eating and he washed his bowl, and after he finished washing his bowl, he feel hungry again. So he said, "Oh, this is the kilesa, not the body that is hungry." So he said, to punish my kilesa, I'll stop eating for 3 days. Every time if I have this type of hunger, I will stop eating for 3 days. And then this will eventually stop the defilement from getting hungry because it gets punished.
Very committed.
So you have to have some way of punishing your defilement when it's behaving wrongly, like becoming hungry, when it's not the time for it to be hungry.
Yes, I observed that quite clearly over past weeks. So I thought I'd reflect upon that.
Okay.
Oh, and Prajan, I will be going to Pattaya next weekend, so I look forward to seeing you at your kuti in one of your
Okay.
afternoon sessions.
Okay.
Thank you,
Looking
Prajan.
forward to your visit.
Just me too. Thank you, Prajan.
Okay.
I hope to see you soon.
You're welcome. Next, Kok Seng from Singapore.
Good evening, Prajan. This evening, I'd like to seek Prajan advice for a few questions. The first one, I was contemplating what Prajan advised me 2 weeks back about how the Dhanas practice support the Sila and how Sila practice support the Bhavana. And for Sila, you mentioned that by keeping the Sila, I will not have any conflicts, and therefore I'll have more time to practice Bhavana. And I'm able to understand that. But in the case of Dana, you mentioned about having loving kindness, and that will support Sila. So I was trying to contemplate, and I'm still not able to fully understand. So, Praja, may you kindly explain how the Dana support the Sila practice?
Well, when you give dana, you give out of compassion, you give out of loving kindness, right? When you see somebody in trouble, you help them. This is compassion. You don't want to hurt them. You want to help people when they're in need. So you have compassion. You don't want to hurt other people. You want to help other people. So then it makes it easy for you to keep the precept, because when you break the precept, it usually means you are hurting other people, like stealing, killing, committing adultery, for instance. So you will not want to do that once you have compassion and kindness, loving kindness toward other beings. So it's easy for people who give dana, who practice charity, to keep the precept, easier for them than people who don't give dana, people who don't care about other people, people who only care about themselves. So for them, when they want something bad enough, then they will break the precept.
I see. Okay, I understand now. Prajan, my second question, which I have actually asked before, and that is after I sit for samatha bhavana for about slightly after an hour, so I feel the pain at the thigh bone and the hip bones, and I try to recite Buddha Buddha, and after that the pain is still quite quite painful, and I switch to anicca anicca, and I find that I'm still not able to so-called subdue the pain, and yeah, so I just want to ask Prajan, so how do I proceed from here?
Because when you use a mantra, the goal is not to suppress the physical pain. See? You want to leave the physical pain alone by pulling your mind away from from thinking about the pain by concentrating on the mantra. See, but if you use a mantra and your goal is want to suppress the physical pain, then when it doesn't happen, you become more frustrated. So the pain become more painful to you. See. So this is not the right way of doing it. You should use the mantra to ignore the pain, not to think about the pain, to leave the pain alone. And then when you don't think about the pain, then your craving for the pain to disappear will be gone. Then your mind can become peaceful and happy and it can live with the pain, live with physical pain.
I was actually chanting anicca, 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 and I was thinking that the pain will disappear, but
the physical pain will not disappear from anicca, but the mental pain will disappear because you stop your craving by using your mantra. See, there are two pains when you have physical pain, you also have mental pain.
Yes.
And the mental pain comes from the aversion of the physical pain.
Yes.
So you want to stop this aversion by using the mantra.
I was also trying to teach the mindset, that this pain is because of the skeleton structure of the body, and therefore it's natural to have that pain, but it doesn't really help.
You have to look at the pain as anatta, a natural phenomenon, like the wind and the rain. They are natural phenomena which we cannot interfere with.
Okay, okay, I will try that using using anatta and tell the mind and
To leave the pain alone.
Yeah, to leave the pain alone. Okay, Prajan, there's another thing which I was contemplating these few days, and that was I was contemplating more than 20 years ago when my eldest son was coming to 3 years old. He was diagnosed with pneumonia and hospitalized for about a month in the hospital. So at that time, my wife and myself, we were working, and we need to stay in the hospital together with our son because at that time he was still very young. So at that time, we have to, after the 1 week urgent leave, the second week onwards, we have to commute from hospital to work and then from work back to hospital. And at that, as I was thinking about this episode, it was a very tormenting, physically and mentally very difficult period for myself and my wife. And at that time, it was also coupled with the Chinese New Year period when the canteen was closed, and at that time, my parents, they were still mobile, and they had to bring us lunch and dinner. So when I think about this episode, I feel that there's a lot of suffering and so on. But I was trying to think, so from here, what brings first of the Buddha's teaching, and what insights should I learn from this episode? because this episode was a very was a very difficult and suffering period to me. But I was trying to find what insights should I learn from this very difficult episode of my son falling ill.
Yes, birth is suffering. That's what you should learn. Once you have birth, you have aging, sickness, and death. This is what the Buddha learned when he saw an old man, a sick man, and a dying and a dead man. Then he writes, "Oh, this is gonna happen to himself also. His body will get old, get sick, and die, and he's gonna suffer." But fortunately, he ran into a monk, and the monk is someone who knows how to deal with this aging, sickness, and death. So he wants to go and learn from this monk. So he left the palace and became a monk. So this is the lesson you should learn. You should become a monk if you want to deal with your suffering. Because it's only the monks who knows how to deal with the suffering correctly. Okay. You have seen the divine, they call the divine signs, the aging and an old man, a sick man, a dead man, and a monk. These are the divine signs or divine vision. And if strike at your heart and move you to become interested in ordaining, then you're on the right track. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, Ajahn.
You're welcome. Next, Samanji. More question from you, Samanji, from Sri Lanka. Go ahead.
Ajahn, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Positive thinking development programs in the West, in these psychological programs, they focus on self-development. But Buddhism teaches no self, anatta. I just want to know how then does Buddhism view self-development programs developed by the West?
Well, in Buddhism, we look at reality. We look at the truth. Positive is only half truth. Negative is the other half. Buddhism teaches us to look at both sides of the story. There's good side and there's also bad side. Yeah, it's like two sides of the same coin. Life is like this. There's happiness. Half of it is happiness. The other half is suffering or sadness. Because anicca, due to the law of anicca, of impermanence. You have things when you're early part of your life, you are developing, you're growing up, so you're enjoying the good part. But then the other half, when you start to get old, get sick and die, this is the other half that you don't want to see. So you don't know how to deal with it when you come to it, see. So Buddhism teaches us to look at this other side and then learn how to deal with these things properly. We can live with this aging, sickness, and death without having any mental suffering.
Ajahn, then what is Prabhaswara Chitta in Buddhism? Is it the enlightened mind? Prabhaswara Chitta.
Papasara.
Prabhaswara Chitta.
This is luminous mind. This is when the mind enters into jhana or reach the third level of enlightenment called anagami.
Then what do you call the mind of an arahant? The mind of a
Not yet. The mind of arahant is pure mind, purity.
It's pure.
Yeah, pure, no defilement. The luminosity of the mind is caused by avijja.
Prahasara Chitta means the mind of an anagami.
Yeah, anagami still have some remaining defilement that he hasn't yet got rid of.
Ajahn, I'm trying to understand the mindset of an arahant. For example, Ajahn, if an arahant For example, if an arhat encounters a life-threatening situation, such as being attacked by a lion or a tiger or any similar situation, would an arhat try to escape or remain calm and silent?
It depends on the situation. If you can evade, then you evade. If you cannot evade, then you just remain silent or remain still and let things happen. Whatever will be, will be.
Thank you. My next question is, one of the key characteristics of Sotapanna is that a Sotapanna has overcome Sila Paramasa, which is the attachment to rites and rituals. Tanajan. Here, I want to know whether Sila Paramasa means Buddhist rituals such as worshipping the Buddha and offering flowers, etc. Oh, what do we really mean by these rituals? I just want to know.
Well, see, when you do rituals for the sake of getting rid of your suffering, then this is not the right way to do it. Because your suffering is not cannot get away, cannot be rid of by practice of rites or ritual. It can only practice by removing the cause of suffering, which is your craving. See, this is what the Sotapanna see. Or the wrong action, the bad karma, can also cause you suffering. So a Sotapanna will not engage in any rites and rituals to eliminate the suffering in the mind. But to pay respect to the Buddha by chanting, do morning chanting or bowing, this is not rites or ritual. It's just an act of reverence, and not for the sake of getting rid of your suffering either.
My last question is, Thanaja, is it a sin to make use of animals to make human activities easier, such as using horses as mode of transport, or using elephants to drag logs? Or I think in Thailand they use baby monkeys to pick coconuts. Is it a sin to make use of animals to make human activities easier?
No, I think to make human activity easier is to reduce the craving in human. If we have less cravings, then we don't have to do as much work as we do now. See, we can live like monks. If we all can live like monks, then we don't have to use animals to do any work for us. We can do it ourselves. Okay.
Okay. That's all I have for today, Tanaja.
Okay.
Nice
Thank you.
talking to you.
Thank you for
so
your
much.
question. Happy holiday.
Wish you the same, Tanaja. Thank
Okay.
you so
Next.
much. Wish you good health.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Okay. Julia from Colorado.
Hello, Ajaan.
You celebrating Christmas?
I don't care really very much. Does Ajaan, I mean, what is it like in Thailand and places like that? Do people get into this?
It's only people who has been westernized and they celebrate Christmas. Or Christian families, they do that. But Buddhist families, we don't do that at all.
Okay. So like, so only the Christians observe?
Christian or Thai Buddhists who've been in the Western countries before, like in the States, they might also celebrate Christmas, but more for the sake of the enjoyment, not the spiritual type of celebration. You know.
Right. I hope they don't fall into too much commercialism and capitalism things like the West.
Well, there's some creeping in though, because a lot of the Western companies have established the stores in the country also. So in the big shopping malls, there'll be something like anywhere else.
Oh man. Well, I hope that Ajahn can remain
but not
free
the
and
majority,
good.
because the majority of Buddhists, we practice Christmas every day. We give every day already. We give food to the monks every day.
Oh,
So
that's
there's no need to have a special day for giving. The Buddha teaches Buddhists to give every day.
Oh, that's so beautiful. I wish that I could remember to say things like that. Because so we went from Rocky Mountains to Switzerland when I was a child. When I was 8 and 9, I went to a small one-building schoolhouse in Switzerland, and it was more about like the silence and the stillness and the spirit of dana, like beautiful qualities deep from the heart coming out in the culture. I don't know if it's like that anymore, but here I don't care. And I listened to a talk last night recorded by Sila, who is into concentration, and he was saying if you know any Dhamma at all, and I don't claim to know much, but then he said, well, in the speech or in the comportment, the conduct, that one should be able to remind the other beings to share that, and so on the one hand, I know it's not my place to go around analyzing others or telling others what to do, but it's very pleasant not to care. and so then I find myself this week when I see people and they said, oh, Julia, we're taking the baby and the husband and we're flying across the country in the morning, in the early morning. And then I'm seeing the mother-in-law and blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, whoa, I'm so happy I'm not doing that. But I'm just polite, and I'm not doing any good by just listening. Like, if there was something I could say that could give people like a taste of peacefulness a little bit, I think that would be nice.
That depends on whether they want to listen to you or not.
Yeah, okay.
If they want if they ask for your advice, then you can tell them, what should I do for Christmas? Then you say, okay, then you tell them what you have experienced.
Okay.
If they don't ask, then better not say anything because it can backfire.
Right.
Okay, anything else?
Well, may Ajahn have a wonderful time every day and every night of the year.
That's right. That's what we should aspire to. Have a wonderful time every day. Be happy
Okay.
every day.
Okay.
By staying calm, by reducing our cravings, not nurturing our cravings,
Yeah.
but reducing our craving to zero. Then we'll find peace and happiness within ourselves.
I should do that. Oh, okay. Much gratitude, Anumodami. That's all for now. That's all.
Okay. Happy holiday anyway, nevertheless.
Okay.
It's always nice to have good words. Just to say good words is okay. All right, next. Nita and Saket from California. Looks like your house is empty now. In the back, there's hardly anything.
It's getting emptier. With the house, the mind is also getting emptier, Ajahn.
Good. The more empty the mind is, the more peaceful it will become.
Yes.
So Ajahn,
Go
I had
ahead.
a question around how much time should we spend listening to Dhamma, and how much time should we keep for practicing mindfulness?
Well, if you don't understand how to practice, then you have to study first. And once you understand how to practice, then you probably study less. You might study only when you feel like you need some inspiration. When you feel you're losing track, you don't know which direction you're going, then you come back to the Dhamma teaching for advice. It's like looking at a map. See, studying Dhamma, listening to Dhammatalk is like looking at the map. While practicing is walking the path that leads to your destination. But sometimes after walking for a while, you might feel unsure if this is the right path you're walking on or not. Then you consult your map, check your GPS, you know. So it depends on how much inspiration you need, how much security you need to make sure that you're on the right track or not, for instance. Then you have to study more or less, depending. But usually when you stay with a teacher like Ajaan Mahabhu, he feels that at least once a week, monks should should listen to his Dhamma teaching. If they already understand, at least when you listen to his teaching, they can become inspired. Sometimes the mind can become a little bit lazy or a bit less inspired. So after you listen to a Dhamma talk, it can become more inspired and more energy to do more practice. So that's the purpose of studying or listening to Dhamma talk, to get information to inspire your practice, to make sure that you're on the right track, on the right direction.
So maybe listening to 2-3 hours of Dhamma every day is a bit much, and I could use more time on practice.
But sometimes people use listening to Dhamma talk as a means of meditating also. Because when you listen to Dhamma talk, you cannot think about worldly stuff. So your mind can become calm from just listening to Dhamma talk also. So it's a means of developing mindfulness and knowledge at the same time. If you not enjoy do 3 hours listening, it's okay. But you also have to practice as well, not just listening only. So you have to have more. You have to have time to listening to Dhamma talks, and you have to have time to practice meditation. This can vary from your practice. The more advanced you're in your practice, then you feel the less you need to listen to Dhamma talk or to study, because you know what to do now. See, then you want to spend more time doing the practice rather than studying the map. But when you're starting, you might want to study more than practice, because you're not getting anywhere with your practice yet. So you need the study to push you to do more practice.
Yes, yeah.
Okay,
Um,
go
I
ahead.
have one question, Ajahn, about mindfulness. So I see that it is getting better. It's a slow process, but it's getting there, and it's not continuous. So there are moments of these when I catch hold of my thoughts, and then I observe that sometimes the thoughts are like, if there's food around, if there's nice things around, there's greed. If there are ugly things around, there's aversion. And then I sometimes feel disgusted with my own thoughts. And I'm like, how can I think such thoughts? So this keeps coming in my mind, and I would love your advice on how to handle such moments.
Just look at the thought as belonging to the defilement, not to yourself. These are generated by your defilement, not you. So you don't feel any guilty. See? So then it makes you want to get rid of this thought, because they are defilement, not you, that you want to get rid of.
And okay, so I don't give them importance, and I just
Yeah.
okay.
Just try to get rid of bad thoughts. If you know it's bad thought, it's not from you, it's from your defilement.
From me. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, and you can stop it by using a mantra, for instance, to stop it from thinking badly. Until you stop thinking, then you can stop your mantra.
And maybe metta is a good mantra at that time when I'm feeling
I
bad
don't
about.
think so. Metta should be practiced only when you deal with people, with other beings. When you have bad thoughts about other people, then you should use metta. Why should I think of them negatively? It's not good to think about people negatively. It's better to think positively about them.
Mm. There are times when I start judging people and then I start telling myself, may they be happy, may they be happy.
Yeah.
That's how I
Or
cope.
point your finger back at yourself. Anytime you want to judge other people, maybe it's better I judge myself first.
True.
Judge not that's a word, right? I think in Christianity or something. Judge not your other people when you still have to, you can still have to judge yourself or something like that. Judge not if you don't want to be judged by other people. But it's good to judge yourself. It's better. It's good to look at yourself because then you'll see whether you're bad or good. See? Then if it's bad, then you can correct it, stop it, and change it into be good.
Maybe I can try chanting Buddho at that time when I'm feeling bad about my own thoughts and about
Yes,
having that
yes.
guilt. So I'll say,
That's right. It's not my thought. It's my defilement that's doing this thinking.
Mhm.
Actually, there's no you. It's just the two side, opposing side. Bad thoughts are created by defilement, and good thoughts are created by Dhamma.
Mm.
You are just a knowing element. There's no you. They're just knowing. So all you have to do is to merely know, observe, or accept what's going on. And if you feel that something is not good, then you can correct it. Then you correct it. Or stop it by using the mantra. Or teach yourself, I should not think like this. This is not good thinking, for instance.
Mm.
It's like teaching a child. The mind is like a child sometimes. It doesn't know good or bad, right or wrong. So you need the teaching of the Buddha to teach the mind. This is bad thinking. Don't think like this.
Mm.
Instead of wanting to hurt other people, you should not want to hurt other people, for instance.
Mm.
Okay.
Yes, Ajahn. Mhm.
But using the mantra is a good way to stop any thought that, sometimes good or bad thought, sometimes you don't want to think. It's better not to think. Because when you don't think, the mind becomes peaceful and calm and happy.
Mm. True.
Okay.
Is
Just
it
go
like
ahead.
some people are more positive and some are like negative towards everything? Is it to do with our past karma as well?
That's right. It's a habit thing that you form in your past lives. See? If you have more Dhamma, then you'll think more positively than negatively. If you have more defilement, you'll think more negatively than positively.
Mm.
So we have to reprogram our mind to think more positively than negatively. Or not to think anything negative at all, only think only positive things. Or nice thing, good thing, kind things.
Mm.
Things that don't hurt people, things that will make people happy. Okay.
Yes. I'll keep reprogramming myself, Ajahn. Thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome. Next, Philip from Malaysia.
Good evening, Tanajan. Season's greetings. Just coming in to listen and paying my respects to you. I have no question.
Happy holiday.
Happy holidays.
Okay, next, Nining from Indonesia.
Yeah, Ajahn. Good evening, Ajahn. Ajahn,
Go ahead.
regarding to Sila Bata Paramasa, so can I say that I don't need any blessing for the rest of my life because I don't because I know that my suffering caused by my craving and also my bad karma. Can I say that like that, Ajahn?
You don't need to say if you know, then you know you don't need a blessing. Why do you have to say it?
Yeah, so when I buy new house and then I don't want to make any blessing for the new house, or like my friend do usually.
Well, it depends. Sometimes you might have to do it just for the sake of other people, because if you don't do it, then other people might feel bad. So let them do it. They still need it, but not you.
Oh, so I don't need so is it correct that if I don't want to do it anymore?
You don't have to tell them that. You just don't do it yourself. But if other people want to do it, then you sometimes have to comply with them.
Yeah.
Just to make them feel good. Or if somebody wants to bless you, let them bless you. If they want to say nice thing to you, you say, you don't tell them, I don't want your blessing. You don't do that. You want to be polite. You want to maintain good relationship with other people. So even if they want to give you a blessing, okay, fine, thank you.
Yeah.
But it's just words. It doesn't mean anything. It does.
Yeah. So
So you don't go tell people, I don't need your blessing. I don't need to do any rites or rituals. You don't have to advertise this to other people. You just know it within yourself. That's good enough.
Yeah, because I become more and more happy that my life become very simple. That I know that everything. I mean I know I know what caused my suffering, and also I can cure myself by listening to the Dhamma talk and also reading the Dhamma makes me happy. That's why
you find the right medicines. The
Yeah.
Dhamma is the medicine to cure your mental illness, not the rites and rituals.
Yeah, that's why I want to thanks also to the admin. That lately I just realized that all of the video they have transcript, so I can read all the conversation in the video preciously.
Okay, good.
Yeah, thank you, Ajahn.
You're
That's
welcome.
all. Yeah, thank you, Ajahn.
Okay. Next intern, also from Indonesia.
Good evening, Ajahn. I don't have question, Ajahn.
Okay. Happy holiday.
Happy holiday, Ajahn.
Okay. Next, Apalachita from Dubai. Do you celebrate Christmas in Dubai? Commercially, right? Just like that.
Yes, actually, it's there is a lot of celebrations like malls and stuff done up, and people. There are a lot of Christians and all communities. It's like time to celebrate that kind of thing. Yes, yes.
Good. Time to be happy.
Exactly. And then some people, it's like lights and stuff. So just that, yes.
Okay. But you don't do it at home.
Well, my partner has Christmas, so I don't, but we do something together so he can have a nice moment. Yes, yes.
Good.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's good. I am kind of a little bit of an introvert, so I look at it as a little bit of mental training, like, no, it's a difficult thing, so let's do it, because sometimes I shouldn't only think of myself. Yes.
That's right. If you live with
Yes.
other people, you also have to be considerate of other
Yes.
people's.
Yes.
But if you live alone, then you don't have to worry about other people.
That's true. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
You always have to use mindfulness when you deal with people.
Mm.
You don't want to hurt their feeling.
Yes. I don't want to. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Anything? Any question?
I was just listening to something. Also, the 5 spiritual faculties. So I can understand they would be developmental, like you would build on it by practicing. So
That's right.
how would one develop Shraddha or
Faith,
Saddha?
you faith in the Buddha, Dhamma, and his teaching. So you study the Buddha's biography, you study the teaching of his, you study his teaching, and you study the life biography of some noble disciples. Like we have books on Ajaan Man biography, for instance. If you study this thing, it will inspire you to have more faith in the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha.
Okay.
So by listening to Dhammatalk, you are instilling more faith or more sattva.
Mm.
But you can get more faith than from studying the Dhamma by practicing. Because when you practice, you start to experience the result from the practice. Then you become more faith, your belief becomes stronger and stronger until one day it will become unshakable. Because you see the truth that you get from your practice. So you have full faith in the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. You know that they are real thing. They're not something. They're not myth. You know, they're real, and they are beneficial to you. To be close to them, to be guided by them, is very beneficial. No, not harmful at all.
No, not harmful at all.
So when you have this strong faith, then your practice become more intense. Then you know that the more you develop mindfulness, the more develop wisdom and samadhi, then you know the more you will become happier, and the less suffering you will have. Eventually, you will have no suffering at all. So these are the 5 spiritual faculties that you need to develop. First, by studying, listening to Dhammatalk, then apply it in your practice. And once you start to experience the result from practice, then you become more inspired, more energetic, more eager to do the practice.
Yeah, more to give up stuff and put in more effort. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Then your faculty becomes stronger and stronger. And then eventually it will push you overboard and push you into enlightenment. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Next, Sarasi. Hi. You came in a few times, but now didn't have a chance to speak.
Yes, Ajahn. I was having experience in some difficulties with the connection, so I could not get in.
Okay, your internet.
How are you, Ajahn? Hope you
Very
are.
fine, thank you.
I have 2 questions for this evening. Like when one develops in the path of Dhamma, for instance, if someone reached the Sotapanna status, can he, for himself, understand that his karmic, the samsaric cycle or his future births are getting reduced, or the samsaric cycle getting narrowed? Can he see or feel for himself?
Well, as far as the future is concerned, he knows that his rounds of rebirth has tremendously reduced because his craving has been reduced tremendously. So, and he knows the cause of rebirth are from his own cravings. So when he has reduced his craving down, then he knows the consequence of rebirth will be less. But I don't think he can count the number. You know.
I mean, just have an idea or a feel that he will not be born for a long, in a long realm of births or something like that.
Yes, I think he might even think that this might be his last birth, because once he could reach the first stage, then it will be easy for him to go to the second, third, and fourth. Even some people can achieve four level of enlightenment within a few minutes of each other. So it varies from people to people, whether they can continue their practice once they reach the first stage of enlightenment. Some people got stuck and didn't have time to practice because due to some other commitment, for instance. I think like the Venerable Ananda, the personal assistant to the Buddha. I think he became a Sotapanna, but then he got selected to be the Buddha's assistant. So he didn't have more time for his practice because he had to spend more time for the Buddha, looking after the Buddha. So he remained a Sotapanna for 20 years or something. Only after when the Buddha died, when he is free to go and practice. And it only took him 3 months to become fully enlightened. So there's no definite number of years of rebirth, but according to the theory, it's maximum is not more than 7 births. You eventually become fully enlightened. But usually for most people, they become enlightened in this rare lifetime once they have reached the first level of enlightenment, and if they don't pass away by some accident or something, if they can continue on practicing, then maybe just a few more days they can finish the task because they know the method how to deal with their defilement already.
You mean for a person who attains Sotapanna?
Yes. Once today he becomes Sotapanna, tomorrow he might reach the second stage, the next day the third stage, and the next day the fourth stage, if he keeps on practicing. If he's not diverted to do some other thing. Or if his life is cut short, then he has to come back and continue in the next life.
Okay, Thanajan. And my second question, it's about like when we say that there is no self here in our body, so how come our karma, good or bad karma, continue to our next birth? When we say there is no self, I'm just a bit confused to understand that. How our karma...
The karma not affecting the self, the karma affecting the mind. The mind is not a self, but our delusion claim the mind to be our self, that's all. So we just have to make the distinction that the mind is not the self, it's just a knowing element. It's the mind that is being affected by the consequence of the mind's own action. It's the mind who's paying the consequence. Yeah. The mind possesses this body, so this body becomes an object of receiving the consequence of the karma. Okay. There's no self, there's just body. Body are 4 elements. The mind is the 5th element, is the knowing element. The self comes from the self is a fiction produced by the mind itself. So forget about the self. It's the mind who did the karma, and it's the mind who reaped the fruit of its own karma.
Okay, Thanajan.
Okay, understand? And
Yes.
the body is part of the mind, see. The body is an extension of the mind. So when anybody wants to do any revenge, they do it on the body, not on the mind, because the mind is invisible.
It's the like knowing factor, right?
What?
Is it I mean, like our continuation of our karma, it passes on to the next birth with the knowing factor, no?
Yes, it goes with the knowing, see, the knowing element. The knowing element take a new body, and then use the new body as its avatar. You know, the word avatar. So any bad karma can also affect the body. Then when it affects the body, it then go to the mind also, because the mind is the one who possesses the body. So when anything happens to the body, then the mind is the one who knows that the body is being affected. Yeah.
Okay, Thanajan, happy to see you and wish you good health and season's greetings.
Does that answer your question? I think it's a bit difficult,
It's a bit difficult, yeah, to the
Yeah.
knowing factor understand, yes, but it cleared somewhere through, yes, Ajahn.
Like the mind uses the body, so the karma also affect the body. Like
Yes.
when people meet you, they look at your body, but they know it's this particular body that belongs to this mind. So you might have, when you see somebody, you might have either some positive reaction or some negative reaction. This is due to your past karma, past perception of this type of person.
Mhm.
So it's almost like you can recognize your own enemies when you see them in your next life.
Okay.
But this is something difficult to understand, I understand. But just think that it's the mind who did the action, and it's the mind who will have to reap the consequence of its own action through the body.
Through the body.
Because the mind uses the body as its own what you call representative,
Mhm.
Anyway, just know that there's no self. It's just the mind that did the action, and it will be the mind who will reap the consequence of its own action.
Okay.
Okay.
Greetings for the new year, Ajahn. Thank
Okay.
you.
Happy holiday.
Thank you very much, Ajahn. Good day.
Next, Gary from Singapore.
Good evening, Ajahn.
Just
Just
listening. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll go to Penang and Christine Coe.
Good evening, Tanajan. Can you hear me?
Yes. Are you back from the monastery?
Yes, yes. Very good.
You should stay there longer then. It was very good. Welcome back.
Come back to the samsara, to the hell.
Yeah, welcome back to something bad when you have something good.
Yes, the knowing mind, the practice is getting better and better and clearer.
Okay, good. Keep going back
Mm.
until you don't have to come back.
I hope so. One day I shall achieve the destination, the goal of the Buddha.
Good, good. That's what the Buddha wants you to do. Follow his teaching.
Very wonderful and very clear, because last time the chitta is not so strong, the knowing mind not so strong. Now it's become skillful in my meditation.
Good. The more practice make it perfect.
Yes,
So keep on practicing.
yes.
Okay.
I will.
Have any questions?
No, happy to see you.
Okay, happy to see you too, and
Thank you.
happy holiday.
Yes. I off for 2 days. My office off for 2 days.
Okay, good.
Thank you, Danajan.
All right, thank you. You're welcome. Next, Sri and Czech from Vancouver, British Columbia.
Greeting, Ajahn.
So, are you happy during the holiday season? Can the holiday season make you happy?
No, I think the same. I think. Maybe, yeah, maybe in the beginning we feel yeah, it's good to have a
break.
But
Okay.
yeah, it's
At
just
least it's the season people trying to be nice to each other, at least.
yeah, lots of nice words, just greeting each
And
other.
nice action also. People give gifts
Yeah,
and things like that.
yeah, lots of gifts. Yeah, but nothing. Yeah, we just staying at home and same. Yeah, no. Just like Julia, we don't care. It's the same.
Yeah, it's the same.
Okay. Anything you want to ask?
Ajahn, delusion use like sankhara, right? To, of course, to produce thought. And when we recite Buddha, is it we trying kind of like to fight
To stop the delusion.
Yeah,
from,
stop
it from creating more delusion. And then you use wisdom of the Buddha, the three characteristics, to replace the delusion. The truth is anicca, dukkha, anatta. See? But the delusion said there's a self, there's permanent, there's happiness in this world. So the Buddha wants us to re-educate the mind to see that life is anicca, dukkha, anatta, not the opposite. Illusion look at life as positive, as permanent, as happy, and as a self. See? But the Buddha said there's no self, there's no happiness, there's only suffering in life because it's impermanent. So that's wisdom, to re-educate the mind.
Okay.
But first we have to stop the mind from thinking delusionally first, by using the mantra mindfulness to stop thinking. Once you can stop thinking, then you can then direct the mind to think positive, realistically, truly. Whenever you see something is impermanent, is suffering, there's no self in those things. That's how you should teach your mind to see everything as anicca, dukkha, anatta. But with a deluded mind, people say everything is permanent, everything is happiness, everything is belonging to me, can belong to me. Before you can direct the mind to look at reality or think realistically, you have to stop it from thinking delusionally first. So you use mantra, you use meditation to get the mind to become still, to have jhana. Then you know you can control your thought, you can direct your thought in the right direction.
Yeah.
Okay, this come back to mindfulness, the first step of practice.
And Ajahn, like in the, I know like I shouldn't go there yet, but in the Satipatthana, like Buddha mentioned about like, oh, you just be aware of the disappearance of sankhara as well. Like at that time, the disappearance is like when we are in jhana, right?
Yes.
Okay. The disappearance of five aggregates. I mean, that is the time that we are in jhana.
Well, I'm not sure. Maybe with the body, sometimes the body will disintegrate one day, it will be gone. But with the other four, they still remain in the mind, but they come and go, they rise and cease. They keep changing, keep moving. You think and then you stop thinking. You think good thing, then you think bad thing. This is the nature of the other four khandhas: Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, and Vijnana. And they will never disappear because they are part of the mind.
Yeah. So when we are in jhana, we just don't use them.
Right, we stop them temporarily.
We just stop them. Okay.
But they're not the problem. The problem is in your craving. Craving using the sankhara to crave for this and crave for that. You have to stop this craving by stopping sankhara, by using knowledge or wisdom to teach you that whatever you crave for, they are bad for you, not good for you. Because everything you crave for is temporarily. You will lose it one day. When you lose something you love, then you become sad. Okay.
Yes. Clear. Thank you, Ajahn.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay. Happy holiday.
Happy holiday.
Next, Belinda from Singapore.
Good evening, Ajaan.
Yes, good evening to you. How are you?
As I speaking of blue holidays, and like yes, getting rid of it through keeping myself happy. That is in a deliberate manner. So
Yes, the best way to make yourself happy is to meditate, to let go with wisdom.
there's a feeling like when I meditate, I don't feel happy. Like there's this like a block.
Because you haven't reached the goal yet. See. You're still working there. It's like climbing the mountain when you meditate. It's only when you get to the top then you feel released, you feel happy, you feel. But when you're climbing to the top, it's hard working. You
Yes.
have to go through. So when you meditate, it's not good. It's not a good feeling because you have to struggle with your defilement. But once you reach the goal, then the defilement becomes suppressed, and you feel released, you feel happy. So you have to persevere, go through the hardship of meditation before you can reach the result of meditation. Okay.
Anicca, dukkha, anatta is very helpful.
Okay, good.
A different mantra to
Yeah. To let go of things. When you see anything, they say anicca, dukkha, anatta, not good for you. They're all bad for you. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Next, Kunjup for the question from email.
We have 5 questions this evening, and they're all from Facebook. The first question is from Mini Pool. Could Ajahn explain what is avijja being a condition to sankhara?
Avijja is ignorant of the truth of anicca, dukkha, anatta. So anicca will think that there is happiness in this world, so it directs sankhara to take birth, to go and attach itself to a body.
Could Ajahn explain the relationship between craving, grasping, bhava, and birth? Thank you.
Well, when you have good feelings, you become attached to it. You have craving for it. You want to go after it. And once you have it, then you cling to it. You have attachment to it. And when you have attachment, when you die, then this attachment will then force you to go to a new birth, to a new life, new existence, so that you can continue having what you used to have before.
The next question is from Terry Shi. Namaskar,ท่าน Ajaan Suchart. I've been practicing sitting meditation for about a year now, but I still experience many wandering thoughts during most of my sittings. May I ask for your kind guidance on how to reduce these distractions and cultivate greater peace of mind, with gratitude for your advice?
You have to put more effort in developing mindfulness first before you can meditate successfully. So you have to practice mindfulness all the time during the day and night, except when you go to sleep. You can start by as soon as you get up, you should start using mindfulness. Either reciting a mantra or keep focusing on your body action all day and all night. If you can do this, then when you meditate, you will be able to restrain your thought, and you can make your mind become calm for meditation.
The next question is from C. Ratnan. I found a monk lying. He's sick with diabetes, but he says no. Should I reprimand him or just keep quiet and stop supporting him? Thank you, Ajahn.
Maybe he didn't want to bother you, so he might think that this is something that you shouldn't worry about. You should leave him alone better. It's not your business.
The next question is from Mandy Smith. Over the holidays, I feel so much judgment from my family. Should I avoid or just try to smile, be nice, and show a different example of living? I know it's not my responsibility to influence them.
Just let them be, and just if they want to say something, just listen to them, and don't get mad at them. Just understand them. This is the way they are.
And the last question is from Agyut Chaka. Pandami Bante. I want to ask about 8 precepts. Due to my childhood, chronic stomach issues, sometimes I cannot stay on an empty stomach in the evening. In such a case, can one still keep 8 precepts, eating 3 times a day?
You can keep the 7 precepts, but not the 8 precepts, because you're breaking one. See.
One question just came in, is from Louisiana Doyle. Ajaan, when I meditate, I saw being. They talked to me and I saw lights. So I said, hearing is hearing, feeling is feeling, thinking is thinking, seeing is seeing. Then everything stopped and go away. And I feel so peaceful and everything went away. Is this the first stage of jhana? Ajaan, thank you.
I don't know, but if it's good, then it's okay. If it makes your mind calm, peaceful, and empty, whether it's first, second, third, or fourth, doesn't matter. As long as your mind feels good, you have contentment, peace, and happiness. Okay, that's all the question you have tonight.
Yes, just one just came in again.
Okay.
How do I stay consistently on the path of practice? It is always a setback to ground zero again and have to start and restart. Hence, it seems like leading to nowhere. Please kindly advise Ajaan.
Well, you just have to keep at it. Be persistent in following the path. You're just like a baby learning how to stand and walk. You can only crawl now, and you can only stand and walk for a few steps, then you fall down again. But as long as you keep at it, working at it, keeping following the teaching, practicing, then I think your mind will become stronger and stronger, and you will eventually be able to advance on your path. Just don't give up, that's all. Just keep on practicing.
That is all, Ka.
Okay. Well, that's about all the time we have for today or tonight. Thank you for your company. I hope this meeting is useful for you and could assist you in your practice and put you advance in your practice. In the meantime, please stay safe, be mindful, and keep on practicing. And if all goes well, I'll see you all at the same time next week. Thank you and goodbye.
กราบสาธุ
Thank you, Ajahn.
Sadhu.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Good night, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Happy holidays.
Blessings, Ajahn.
ขอบคุณป้าตุ๊บขอบคุณพี่อนิตนะ
ส
ค
วั
รั
ส
บ
ดีค่ะ
สวัสดี
ส
ค
วัส
รั
ดี
บ
ค่ะ
Happy Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Everybody.